This is All Hitches, the NoVA football podcast.
Yo, tune in, lock in, it's the All Hitches show. Dash and Dan on the mic, let the NoVA tales flow. From the booth to the field, we hitch up the truth. All Hitches podcast, drop the beat, here's the proof. Dash and Dan in the cut, bringing heat to the game.
NoVA's #1 football podcast. Coach Mesa, good evening, buddy.
How are you, sir? Happy holidays. We are in the full swing holiday season, aren't we? And you and I are Christmas guys. You and I,
totally.
You and I are Christmas guys.
Right here, buddy. Santa, stop right here, please. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Kiss my ass, kiss your ass, kiss his ass.
Festivus, the holiday for the rest of us.
Holiday for the rest of us. Feats of strength, my friend. Feats of strength. We have some feats of strength coming up this week. You and I are going to be, the feats of strength is setting up a good connection at any stadium.
Yeah,
that's a true feat of strength.
Well, actually, I had an idea, and I guess I'll talk to you off the air. I had something I thought in my head that might work, but
standing with a pole.
No.
Doc Brown.
No, I don't know if you want to get into this now. I could probably talk to you about it now.
Yeah, we'll talk about it off air.
Okay.
But ingenuity, that's good. We need ingenuity.
Yeah.
With whatever works, right? But yeah, we're excited. We're going to be at Madison.
Yes.
Again. A year to the day.
Yeah, just return of us right there.
And because of that, in honor of that, look at my shirt, my friend.
Oh, look at that.
MWO. I'm sporting. It's a long time since I sported another team's gear, Mason.
Yeah.
MWO. I'm going backwards here, so it's hard. MWO, the Madison World Order, paying homage to the great defense of a year ago. And I said it, you and I, as NoVA guys here, we are we watched this game against the heavily favored Oscar Smith, and we will be there live and may hope a little good juju for us being there. Like last time
we were there, they did win. Last time we were there, they did win.
And there are probably some that would have thought Braddock maybe was the favorite in that game a year ago.
Yeah.
You never know. But yeah, so we're excited. We've talked to Maz. We're going to be joined by the incomparable Carl Frederick, not only at that game, my friend, but today as well.
Yeah. Isn't Coach Van Acker going to be with us too? I thought he was going to be the third wheel with us.
He might be I guess the third and fourth wheel, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I haven't talked to VA since last week, but we got to get him another chair. We're gonna need a bigger boat, as they say.
Yeah.
They got 3 chairs waiting for it. I'll tell VA to bring a camper's chair.
Yeah.
Bring a camper. We had a camper's chair last year, I think.
I think we might have. I don't know.
We did. Are they called camper's chairs? Whatever they're called. The little fold-up things.
Oh, yeah.
Those little fold-up ones. But yeah, we're gonna have it. We're gonna be ready to go. We're gonna we're come live stream on YouTube, on X, whatever it takes. We're gonna have it. We're gonna have it.
Yeah. Hopefully.
No. We'll definitely have it. Even last year we had it on. It wasn't the ideal. It wasn't like a cross stream across our thing, but we were live on one of our things. Once we just caved on going with the big picture.
Yeah.
So we'll get it going somehow, some way, and we won't be as stubborn as we were last week. We just kept trying. We'll get it. I can't wait for that game. We're gonna break all these down today. All of these. There's 2 left.
Yeah.
And we're going to break those down with Carl Frederick. Nobody knows, except maybe Van Acker, nobody knows the state of Virginia football better than Carl Frederick.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, he does a great job scouting the state.
Oh, man. And he's got, new rankings probably. He's probably got a lot of these Oscar Smith, young Madison guys, young West Springfield guys on his updated rankings for the 20. He's already working on the 26th season, Mesa.
Oh, wow.
In some ways, we call him the Adam Schefter of NoVA. In some ways, he's also the Mel Kiper of NoVA in some ways.
He is. Wow. He's like the Adam Kiper.
He is like Adam Kiper. What an introduction we're giving him.
Yeah.
What an introduction. So yeah, buddy. So he'll be joining us any minute. We got 2 games, 6A NoVA. We got Oscar Smith, Madison, the one we're going to be at. We got West Springfield at North Stafford. We will have some people there.
Yeah.
We'll be getting reports from that game, hopefully. Yeah, I think it's time, my friend. You ready to get into this?
I am. I am.
All right, let's do it. Madison, the reigning NoVA representatives versus Oscar Smith, the reigning South representatives. This is it, my friend. Mano a mano. Take the gloves off. Bare knuckled. Let's get at it. Talk about it.
Yeah. So Oscar Smith is loaded. Looking up there, just looking at it, they have the wide receiver Travis Johnson. He is committed to Michigan. Jaden Koval, cornerback, committed to Virginia.
Welcome aboard, Carl.
What's going on, fellas?
Hey, look at that. He's on a computer.
Yeah, I love it.
Lonnie Anderson the third.
I love it.
Is right now he's at 27, so he's only.
How you guys doing?
Good.
Good. Mason's breaking out. You're going to enjoy this. He's breaking out some of the Oscar Smith stuff, and you can kind of chime in as he kind of finishes up here.
Lonnie Anderson the third. He is the quarterback. He's at 27.
Andrews.
Is it Andrews? Sorry.
Yeah. You said Lonnie Anderson, which, by the way, would be look. If Lonnie Anderson is playing for anywhere, did she pass away a couple years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she did. But I loved her in WKRP in Cincinnati. Anyways, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, right now he's committed to Virginia, but he's a junior, so that may change over time, right? Nerod Jarvis going to Buffalo. Then they have some other one. Dontre Walls looks like he has interest from NC State and Virginia Tech. I mean, they are just loaded up and down that roster. I mean, it might be arguably one of the best rosters in the state. I know there's Liberty Christian. I think might have the right. Are they the ones who are ranked number 1 right now in the state of Virginia? I think they may be.
Yeah, but their class.
Yeah. Know that you said Liberty Christian was class 4, but I mean, as far as if you look at the Massey ratings, they're not the number 1 team. I believe it might be Liberty Christian or Benedictine might be the other one who's ranked ahead of them. I mean, because Massey ratings doesn't care about your class. They rank, they have the
Right.
ranked 1 in Virginia. I mean, I take that back. I know. Actually, no. I think St. James fell. I think St. James fell in the number 1 ranking last I saw. I don't want to take anything away from St. James. But they are absolutely loaded. They are the most loaded roster that I've seen all year. Nobody in at least Northern Virginia can touch that roster as far as star power.
Carl, thoughts on Oscar Smith? I mean, I know you know a lot about these guys. I mean, you've been ranking. You got your 26 rankings getting ready to go.
Right. That's coming up in 2 weeks. Just published the 2028 one. But to Coach Mace's point, Oscar Smith is not only loaded, but they're loaded for the next couple of years. And Dash, like I was telling you during the break, I wrote an article last year after their triumphant win over Madison in the state title game saying Oscar Smith has a potential dynasty on its hand. And I got a bunch of response from Oscar Smith fans saying, hey, wait till you see our 2027 class or 2028 class, even their 2029 class. It's even deeper than their 2026 class, which Mesa just rattled off is loaded. But their 2027 class alone has Lonnie Andrews going to Virginia. I mean, Tajay Curtis, he's one of my top-ranked running backs. They got a couple of linemen. Their 2028 class, Lennox Williams, he's a top 50 defensive lineman. The list goes on.
Lincoln
Holiday.
Yeah,
I believe I have him
2028.
Yeah, I have him like 30th. I'm trying to think. I know I have him ranked in my top 100. That's 2 guys alone. And this is like all in the state of Virginia that to have a couple guys in my overall rankings in your top 50 is impressive enough. And they're loaded across the board. So they have a potential dynasty on their hands.
And they only have 1 loss this season, and it was a 17-0 loss to Gonzaga.
The powerhouse Gonzaga. I watched that game. I was supposed to go to it, but I just couldn't get in with the traffic. It was insane. But they lost 17-0 and were in that game. If you watch the replay, they were. Gonzaga had to fight them tooth and nail, and that's a private school powerhouse.
Right.
Since then, nobody has gotten within 14 points of them.
Yeah. No, they are as good as advertised. I am really excited to see what they look like live and in. I mean, because I just remember last year watching it on NFHS. They walked out and you're like, good Lord.
Right.
I mean, they made Madison's team look like a freshman team when they walked out there. I mean, they were just big and fast and strong. And but I think that goes to, the limited amount of knowledge I have about it. those areas, right? The beach area, the Richmond area, produce a lot of NFL talent, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
I mean, they have NFL Hall of Famers, right? Coming out of place. I mean, Charles Haley, Bruce Smith are out of those places. I mean, they have NBA Hall of Famers, the guys like Allen Iverson. I mean, Ronald
Michael
Curry, right?
Vick, Aaron
Local
Brooks.
Aaron Brooks, Ronald Curry, local legend, right?
Ronald Curry, high school Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I mean, and he had a couple. He played in the league for a while, but I mean, as far as
The Vick brothers.
yeah, I mean, just they just. I mean, I think we talked about it a little bit last year in the offseason, and I said coming out here, you don't hear it, right? You hear about, the Dallas area in Texas. You hear about Miami-Dade County down in Miami, right? You hear about Southern California, right? You hear about LA County, Orange County. You hear about all these things. You don't hear a lot about Southern Virginia, and in reality, they turn out fantastic players. I mean, what the kid at Michigan State now? He's playing for New England, right? He was he was from that area, if I'm not mistaken. Right? Travion Henderson. Am I
He went to Ohio State, but yeah.
He went to Ohio State, but he was a Virginia kid, right?
Right.
I mean, the amount of talent that comes out of that area, I think it's overlooked. It gets overlooked by the Maryland schools, by Maryland, by Pennsylvania, and I think it could probably hold up the talent they produce out of that area in particular, probably against most. I mean, especially if you look at per capita, probably probably would be in the top 5 in the country, my guess.
Well, so now let's juxtapose that, because this is the beauty of this matchup, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to ask you right now, Carl, put you on the spot as we set up talking about Madison here. How many in your top 100 are Madison guys? And I'm not saying that as a bad. This is that's why it's such a great matchup. Madison's a machine that gets it done. All the pieces working together.
Yeah, I don't have any in my top 100.
No, it's okay. I mean, I didn't think you did. I was kind of
Right.
But think about teams they've beaten. They beat teams that you probably have. So like, I'd imagine Malachi Lee's in your top 100. I'd imagine probably, right? In
20th.
Right. Yeah. They've beaten teams with players who
have.
Because they I mean, I think this goes to kind of the secret sauce, as you and I, Coach Dash, used to coach with a guy who's talked about all the time. The secret sauce of them is that they just play really good football, right? That is what they do. They tackle well, they block well. They are, I mean,
selfless football.
Last year with Dom Nicely, right? They had a player who probably was in your top 100 from the year before, year prior, right? So they had one of those, but for the most part, those guys come out. And I think I talked before. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they're small, but they don't walk out and they don't necessarily pass the eye test where you're like, oh my God, look at these kids. Like, look how big those kids are. Now, Weiler's a big running back, and they have some big guys. There's no one who all of a sudden just eye pops, right? Where you're like
Weiler and Picarelli. Am I saying it right? Picadello, the fullback. I'm probably botching his name.
Yeah.
But
But I
mean, how do you say the fullback's name? Carl?
Ricardello in it.
Ricardello, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm botching it probably, but yeah, I mean, guys, it's a huge, mammoth backfield.
Yeah.
But again, doing the dirty work.
Right. Yeah, and last year, right? No one gave him a chance last year either. No one thought that last year's Madison team was gonna have any chance whatsoever against them, and they were a fingertip away from beating them in overtime.
Right. Now, I mean, you can make the argument they were the better team. They should have won that game last year. I mean,
yeah.
Going back to Madison, guys, they're the most sound football team I can recall. I mean, every year it feels like I watch them in preseason. I'm like, oh, this is they're coming back to life, because like what Coach Mace is saying. I see that. I'm like, there's nobody that, like, when they come on the field, with the exception of Nicely last year, that it's like really passes the eye test. But then they get out there and they're up 26-0 at halftime on Westfield, or they're taking Centerville, a team that they probably had no business being, in double overtime and beat them. They just find ways to win, and they're doing it every year. And this year is, they're 9-4 coming into this game, and they're hosting a state semifinal.
Yeah.
It's a testament to what Coach Count's staff and their whole culture, man.
That's a program, right? That's what that is. They are a program all the way from, we were at the Vienna Youth camp back in August. Was it August we were there? Remember?
July. Late
July, all the way through, right? They have a program they run there, and they run it effectively. They run it efficiently, and they have talented players. I'm not saying they're players, but I credit to Coach Counts and his staff. And here's another thing, and this kind of speaks to, if any DSA is listening to it, that staff has been together for a long time, right? They didn't turn it over. They made sure they kept those guys there.
Continuity.
The DC, right? The DC went to like graduated in Fairfax in like the 80s. Like I think he went to with Wilkie. I think he went to school with Wilkie.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I mean, he's been a guy who's been there, who's been a lifer who's there, right? He's been there. They don't turn over the staff. They all stay together. A little bit like Yorktown, right? A little bit like Yorktown, where you have a bunch of guys who've been together for a long time, who can kind of work with each other. They have a head coach who's been there for a long time, and they kind of stay the course. Now they've been successful, so I mean that's an argument for them. No, they're not being a real big shakeup, but to have that kind of continuity there and have and I think you've said it before, Dash, where Vienna's kind of a small town feel, right? Where people live in Vienna, they support the organizations, they support. I mean, Saturday they packed Westfield. I don't think you and I had seen a visiting team pack the visitor stands all year. I mean, we haven't been to a lot of games, but even when we were going to games the year prior, no visiting team. I mean, Braddock didn't pack their stands for the state semifinal against Madison. I mean, we saw against Centerville, they packed their stands. They support the program, and yeah. So I mean, a credit to that staff, a credit to those kids, and. I don't think a lot of people are giving Madison a shot, and why would you, right? I mean, they're playing Goliath. As good as Madison is, I mean, I just rattled off a bunch of guys who have Power 5 offers, a bunch of guys who have Power 5, not one or two, which would be good. You're talking about 5 or 6 guys who have Power 5 offers. So
well,
they're not getting a lot of chance, but Madison is going to have a game plan for them.
Let's get into Madison a little bit from some of the guys. Now, they might not be in the top 100 list of Virginia. They might not have a bunch of Power 5 offers, but and we'll start with some of the guys that were enjoying the turkey this past week, right?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, Weiler's a stud, right? He's going to get his carries. But we talk about Riccadello, the fullback. How about Rowan, the quarterback, Andrew Rowan? People haven't talked about him. I know Yates was the guy last year. And Yates was more of a baseball guy, but talk about people who said they moved into this area because of the small town feel of Madison. That was Mrs. Yates, and we talked to her after the game last year.
Rowan also a baseball guy.
Yeah, baseball guy. Rowan, baseball guy. Let me ask you. I mean, Rowan outplayed Carlson last week, and Carlson is the big name guy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I love Carlson. I'm just saying that the Madison guys have stepped up when they needed to step up.
Yeah, and you think about this. Rowan didn't play a lot last year, right? I mean, he and he's a senior. I mean, he waited 3 years to get his turn, and credit to him, right? A lot of guys, especially with, I believe baseball is his first sport, would eventually been like, I'm not going to play. What am I doing here? He waited his turn his senior year, and look, now he has helped. I mean, he was probably one of the main reasons that they got themselves into a state semifinal game.
Right. Gore, Rowan, Casey. Carl, you could chime in with some of these guys. I know you know.
Gorkowski.
Who's that?
Graham Gorkowski.
Salvosa. Salvosa, maybe the only returning starter from a year ago on D.
He's one of my favorites.
Carl's a big Salvosa guy.
He's one of my favorites. He's been my favorite of mine last year, too. He's ranked. I'll probably put him back in my top 100 for the 2026 class. I want to rank Rowan now just based on your story about him, because that's really cool, because you don't see that nowadays in high school or college football. If the kid can't play, he's either transferring or going to another sport. That's a really cool story.
Smoot, right? Smoot had a huge game.
Smoot, yeah.
Two touchdowns.
Bill Smoot, right?
Yeah.
He's a junior. That kid's a playmaker.
Yeah, he is a playmaker. So, I mean, you talk about all these guys. Again, these are guys that make they don't. I think sometimes these kind of players at Madison don't get. Now, I don't mean the Niceleys, right? Guys like that,
right?
But these kind of guys don't get the credit because Madison is perceived as such a the big unit, right? And so many parts that individually guys don't always get the recognition they deserve.
Yeah.
And then Coach Counts talk about the guys as humble as they come.
Going to be a nicer guy. That whole atmosphere. You were right about. Is it for the AD Dash?
Bayard, great guy.
What a nice guy. I talked to him briefly today. I mean, just the whole community. I mean, my kids live in Oakton too, so right outside of there. So it is a small town feel, and they're not dumb. They know everybody thinks they don't have a chance Saturday. They don't care. They'll be in it.
Right. And you see the shirt, Carl? Look at the shirt I'm wearing today, buddy.
I saw that right away.
That's the MWO, buddy.
I know.
The
I want
MWO.
one.
I know Ambrose is looking and he's nodding. He's giving the Mr. Miyagi nod of approval as he sees that one.
I know. I want one. I got to buy one.
They're on the site. Only a few left. You got to get them while they're hot. But yeah, I really excited about this. And let's get down to the game now. Talk about the players individually. Things you're looking for. Mason, start with you. What are you looking for from? We know everyone knows that Oscar Smith is the big favorite. You could ask people in Madison, and they know this. In Vienna, they know this. What are you looking for? What does Madison need to happen to kind of?
They've got to shorten the game. They've got to shorten the game and keep those offensive guys off the field. They have to go first down, second down, third down, first down. First down, second down, third down, first down. First down. Yeah, one. The other thing is they have to avoid the big play. They can't, and I've talked to you about this before, and I know I brought it before. Coach Jerry Jaso, who was a coach at Long Beach Poly for a long time, he would call it the feeding frenzy. You know, when he was at Poly and they were rolling, right? When Poly was fighting for a national championship, he was like, it takes one big play and the guys start to feel it. You've got to avoid the feeding frenzy. You can't give up the 95-yard touchdown. You can't, and even on defensively, right? You've got to avoid like the big pick or the pick six, the giant hit. You've got to avoid that. You've got to avoid those things to keep them on their heels. Now, the thing is that I'm sure Oscar Smith is going to be telling their guys, hey, we almost lost these guys last year. Now, they're not the same crew, but we were the big favorite last year, and we were, again, a handful away. But I think, one, they have to avoid, on offense, they've got to control the ball. You've got to shorten the game. And then defensively, you've got to avoid the big play. You can't give up the splash play because it'll get them going. It'll get them going. It'll start to feed into it. And then you always worry about, because these are still high school kids, right? These are still 16, 17, 18-year-old kids. And a lot of times, and I know that, you know, they're a good program, but, you know, if some guy mosses you and then runs for 95 yards, it kind of deflates you. I'll kind of equate it to when Madison went up by a couple scores in the Westfield thing, you could feel the Westfield sideline just start dropping because they're like, here we go again. These guys owned us last year. We had them beat and we couldn't beat them, and then here we go again. You know, and I'm not saying it's all of them. I'm just saying, but you could feel that energy. You know, you and I have been coaching for a long time, been coaching for over 30 years. You can feel that sometimes, right? You can feel the kids drain because all of a sudden in their minds start to run. Same thing here, right? You know, if Madison goes down big early or they make some spectacular splash play and hit a big play, all of a sudden doubt starts to creep in. And so you've got to worry about that as well.
Carl, anything you're looking for in this one?
No, I mean, Coach is right. You know, I would say with Madison, ball control. And I wonder if Oscar Smith is going to take it, like, because they're, you know, they didn't get here by accident.
No.
You know, they won it all last year, but they know they could easily have lost that game. I wonder if they're taking it as disrespect that they have to travel all the way up here and play a state semifinal game too in Madison. So I wonder if that is going to be another factor too. Maybe not, but I also wonder too, because you remember last year in that game, Madison kind of rattled them early on. You know, obviously Oscar Smith responded, but in a home atmosphere in Vienna where it is going to be packed, and if Madison can get a little momentum early on, it'll be interesting to see how Oscar Smith responds.
Well, that's the other thing, right? If Madison can get up early on Oscar Smith, they'll start to feel, when you're the favorite and you get down early and then it's a close game, third quarter, the pressure gets big, right? Because you're like, we should be putting these guys away, and we are not putting these guys away. We can't figure out why we can't shake them. We can't figure it out. A game I'll kind of equate that to is the game when Concord de La Salle came to play Long Beach Poly. The game they showed on the movie was not that game, but you could tell. I mean, Poly was loaded. They had 4 All-Americans. I'm not talking about, they had All-Americans on the team. That was Mercedes Lewis was on that team. Darnell Bing was on that team. Who else? Kareem Kelly was on that. I mean, just names, a bunch of guys who played. Winston Justice was on that team. A bunch of NFL guys, right? And you could tell that when they couldn't put away Concord, don't get me wrong, they had Concord and Maurice Jones-Drew, so I'm not saying they weren't talented, but they didn't have the big names that Poly had. You could tell by the third quarter, they're like, we can't put this team away. You could just tell that the thought was we should be rolling these guys. They have guys going both ways. We have platoon going guys. And so I think that for Oscar Smith, the same thing. If Madison can be in the game in the third quarter, Oscar Smith will start to feel the pressure.
I think about we talk about movies a lot, and we equate scenes from movies or that kind of thing to certain events. And if I'm the Madison guys, right? Well, I think it's Rocky Apollo, right? It's Rocky Apollo. It's no one's ever. What'd you say earlier, Carl, about that putting aside the Gonzaga or was it Gonzaga they played?
Yeah.
Putting aside the Gonzaga game, which they lost 17-0. But aside from that, what was the closest game? You said 14 points?
Yep.
Right.
Both Warwick and Nansemond River, both really good schools themselves, got within 14 points.
Right.
That was it.
So what was the line from Rocky? No one's ever gone the distance with Creed. All I want to do is go the distance. Take it to the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Get to the fourth quarter. Close game in the fourth. And then from there, whatever happens, happens. And that's got to be the battle cry, man. That's good. And you're right, though. Oscar Smith might have their own. They're going to gin up some stuff. You're the heavy favorite. You got to find something. And I think you nailed it, Carl. That could be one. You're making us come out here. You don't want the team from the South. You want the team from the North to represent. Yeah. I've already heard people saying that online. So I'm not even making that up. So you're right. They probably will create something to kind of, rattle the Tiger cage a little bit, so to speak, right? Which they probably will be rattling the Tiger cage. But Madison's got to stick to their thing, man. We're the underdogs. No one's ever taken these guys, like you said, closer than 14 points. And why not us?
I thought, like, when you did the Rocky reference there, I thought you were talking about Apollo Creed and Rocky 2 and Oscar Smith being Apollo Creed when he's like, well, man, I won him, but I did beat him. And that was Oscar Smith. I thought that's where you were going with that.
Well, there's some of that there, too. I thought you were going to say, get up, you son of a bitch, because Mickey loves you. That was Rocky 5, and no one saw Rocky 5.
Yeah, we can forget about Rocky 5, but yeah.
That's a Rocky 5 guy. He likes Rocky 5.
I am a Rocky 5 guy. There's a lot of good lines in Rocky 5.
No, there's not.
And the good fight scene. The street fight is a great scene.
People are listening. Outside. Make sure Dash edits that part. He just said Rocky 5's a good movie.
Tommy Gunn only fights in the ring. Only in the ring.
I think early on, look for Oscar Smith to try to hit a big play early. Look for them to try to hit a big play early.
I mean, we'll get to watch.
They want to show, and I'll go back to, again, my point of reference is always Long Beach Poly for years. They would always try to hit you with a deep shot early because they wanted you to understand that you're not as good as us, and we're going to show you right now.
Yeah,
we're going to show you right now that you're not as good as us. We're going to hit you in the face right now, and you're going to go down. Well,
the biggest game in the DMV since last year's, and I say in the DMV, I know it took place at, where was it, JMU last year or UVA? Where'd they play last year? The state final. JMU. Yeah. So I mean, with the DMV team in it, was the state final matchup last year. Yeah. Now, since then, the biggest game was the St. James St. Francis game.
Yeah.
This is the biggest game since that game. What happened in that game? It was very similar circumstance where the heavy favorite.
Yeah.
The tough team that people thought they got a puncher's chance in St. James, maybe. And what did St. Francis try and do to him early? And successfully.
Yeah.
And we talked to Dio. Dio said it. He said, we knew they were going to come furious early, and we had to withstand that.
Yeah.
It's that barrage. It's that Mike Tyson barrage that you got to survive, that those kind of top echelon teams are going to try and do to you early.
Phil Jackson always talked about in the playoffs. He's road playoff games. He was like, you got to withstand the early fury. You got to be able to withstand it. You got to kind of be able to weather that storm for the first few minutes of a game, of a playoff game.
That's why he wouldn't call timeouts.
Yeah. You got to withstand it. And then once that run is over, then you can get back in the game and get going. So yeah, I think they're gonna have to withstand
and Westfield couldn't survive it last week.
Right.
That's what happens. All right, man, it's gonna be fun, guys. I can't wait. We're all gonna be there. Might even have Coach VA there joining us. Haven't heard from him. I think he's in line to Vienna Inn right now, waiting for some chili dogs. But yeah, it'll be a fun time. Andrew Bayard and the Madison staff taking care of us taking care of us, which we appreciate.
Yeah, they've been great.
Yeah, they really have been. All right, buddy. And then there was one game left, gentlemen. One game left to talk about here in 6A. And we have West Springfield, the famous West Springfield that was on Sunday Night Football the other day. Got a lot of eyes on that one. West Springfield, North Stafford. Mason, talk about it.
So there's a lot of underlying headline, subplots to this game. One, so we'll talk about just the teams in general. They scrimmaged each other. That was their first scrimmage. Was them versus. Now, my understanding, if I'm not mistaken, is that for the last few years, they have been scrimmaging North Stafford for their first scrimmage for the last few years because the two younger Parkers are North Stafford alums. They grew up, and I believe Coach Parker also. I mean, obviously he lived there. They lived in North Stafford, so they have they're rather familiar. They're both former coaches there. They're coaches on those staffs are there. I'm not sure exactly how long ago. So I think it's really interesting. You have that connection, right? It's really that they finally get to a state semifinal, and the team they're going to play is the place they're going is a field that they both played on, which I think is really interesting. Carl, I'm sure you can talk a little about what is about the players at North Stafford.
North Stafford, I had the privilege of watching them a couple times live this year.
Oh, you were at the Woodbridge game, right? Where you said that was
I was at the Battlefield game week 1, what they should have won, lost in that last second play of the game, and I was at their overtime thriller. Woodbridge's only regular season loss too, back in like week 4 or 5 on that botched snap. North Stafford will have probably 30 to 35 kids in uniform, and they're all studs from Saturday. I've said this on the show a couple times before. Another storyline, though, is their top prospect, Kanaz Sullivan Jr., who has close to 50 offers. He's one of the highest rated recruits in all the country, not just Virginia. Kanaz Sullivan, he may be out this game. He got hurt in that Woodbridge game, too.
That's awful.
Yeah, that's another thing that's not being talked about enough because he is incredible. He's one of these guys.
You're saying he didn't finish the Woodbridge game?
Correct. I don't know, like, the severity of the knee injury. I'm sure they're trying to keep tight lip about it because he's, not only is he awesome, they still have 30 other guys that are incredible. Chase Sullivan, their senior quarterback, he's about 6'6", Duke and slinging it all over the field, and he's just getting better as the season goes on.
Now, is he more of a Mason and I were talking about him earlier today. I've seen a little bit of him some of the games on Friday nights. Don't know his scouting report. Is he more of a pocket quarterback, or is he a dual threat guy?
He can run when he wants to. He's improved as a pocket passer as this year is going on, including last year too. There's not a ton of interest in him recruiting wise, but the way
I think he just got an Emory Henry offer recently.
Yeah, that's the most recent one, and he'll pick some more up too, because that's another thing too, that with the recruiting landscape that's changing. It's like kids are, even seniors, are going to get more Division II and FCS offers coming soon, especially with the transfer portal window coming. But anyway, Sullivan, Chase Sullivan, the senior quarterback, he's a gunslinger. He can sling it, and he's playing some excellent football right now. Antoine Barnes on the outside is an outstanding receiver.
Yeah,
his favorite. He was, he's been incredible all year long. He has a couple of Division II offers, I believe, a couple of Division I offers. He's outstanding. Corey Lawrence is the Defensive Player of the Year in the region. He's an incredible playmaker. Ontario Washington's an outstanding corner. He has a couple of offers. The list goes on. Jaron Owusu-Ansah is a big-time tight end / defensive end. He has a couple of low Division I offers. I could go on and on about 30 guys that North Stafford has. They're fast. The guys they have up front are physical. They make plays on defense. They're a couple of plays away, honestly, from being undefeated. They lost the, Battlefield. I already talked about back in week 1, the last play of the game. They had that game won 10 different ways. And then they lost the Colonial Forge on the last second play of the game, who was, the Class 6 favorite at one point. And they lost to Riverbend, who was one of the top teams in Class 5 in week 10 by 1 touchdown. So.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at comps, and there's no, obviously, other than the scrimmage, which we don't know. Mason and I looked, but the Federation wasn't the camera wasn't on for that game, so we don't really know what happened in that one. This is why you turn off scrimmage cameras, though, guys. This is why people turn them off, right? I mean, let's be honest. And nothing to look at now. But the comp, we're trying to find comp games and in general, Riverbend. Riverbend lost this past week
Right.
to Stonebridge.
At 1 point, right?
1 point. So even Steven, though, and this is not West Springfield comp, but it's a NoVA comp. West Springfield played Madison, didn't they?
West Springfield did play Madison.
Yeah, they played Madison. Madison. Now West Springfield's a different team than they were early in the year. Let's just say that right now.
Yeah.
West Springfield lost to Chantilly. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a different team than they were. But for comps, Stonebridge and Madison played even 7-6 game.
Yeah.
7-6 game. So the team that beat Riverbend, played Madison played them even Steven.
Right.
And Riverbend beat again. Now we're going. They beat them, but they beat them. But there's just no other comp. I'm looking at the comps in front of me, trying to break this down. That's all we got.
Now, if I had to guess game plan wise, I would guess North Stafford's gonna play to stop Dylan Wickham. I mean, my guess is that's gonna be the game plan. I think Sky Lewis is gonna have a lot of weight on his shoulders this game. My guess is, like I said, Dylan Wickham has been, he was probably the best back in Region C this year.
I think he's the best back in NoVA.
It probably is. Probably is.
In true NoVA, who would be better?
I
don't mean who had more yards this year, because he didn't really start getting a lot of carries till a few weeks into the season. But you saw them all. Mesa, who do you think? Was there a better back when they're playing at their best?
Jameer Brown for Patriot was really good, but I don't know if he was better than Wickham. This year, Wickham was incredible.
He really was, man.
But don't sleep on my guy, Scotty Lewis. He's had an incredible senior year.
No, Scotty Lewis had a great season.
Didn't Blackstock for Battlefield had a really, really big year this year?
Yeah, but not quite like that. Blackstock, he had a nice.
Yeah, but not like that. I mean, Wickham and Scotty.
Yeah, I'm just pulling out guys who are really good backs.
Marquise Sharp's an outstanding running back.
Sharp maybe maybe Marquise Sharp at Woodbridge.
I have him ranked 38th or 20.
Where's Wickham ranked?
He'll be 2027, so I'll do those later in the month.
But he's definitely being ranked.
Yeah, he's going to debut. He's going to debut high.
Yeah, he deserves to.
Track
kid too, all-state track kid.
So my guess is they're going to. They may dare them to throw the football, right? I think they're gonna play the run heavy, right?
Don't you think Braddock did that? Braddock was okay. I mean, we're gonna play the run. We're gonna stop because remember Wickham had 200 yards last time against Braddock, and then sure enough, Wickham did it again, and they weren't even hiding it. They weren't even hiding. They threw the ball 4 times.
He got 95. He got
threw the ball 4 times in that game.
He got 85 yards on that last run. So
so he had 100 because he ended up with like 130, 140. Yeah. So he had 150 or 60 before the last run.
Yeah,
he had a good day. And Scotty Lewis had like 80 himself.
Right. So I think they're going to play the run, but but North Stafford is loaded, right? I mean, they're loaded all over the place. And no disrespect to Lake Braddock. I think Lake Braddock has some pretty good players, but I mean, Carl just routed off a bunch of guys who have Division I offers, right? So I mean, just looking at if you're just going to judge it from what obviously college scouts and college coaches are judging it from, you'd probably say that North Stafford is probably a little more talented.
Yeah, I mean, sure, they have more of those top tier players. I'm sure. I don't think anyone would debate that. And going into this game, I think the MGM of Springfield probably has North Stafford as favorites, 100%. They're probably about 10-point favorites. I think Oscar Smith's probably about what would you say, 18-point favorites, probably. At least. So they're both the true NoVA teams are underdogs in these games, 100%.
Yeah. That's why I think they're going to come out and try to dare them to throw the football. I mean, I think they're going to press up. They're going to load the box. I didn't look at if Lake Braddock was playing only a single high safety. I don't know if they're playing too high. I'm curious if North Stafford's not going to be playing too high. If they're just going to bring guys down, 8 in the box, and try to corral that run game. It's going to be an interesting matchup. Do we have a time for that game? Do we know?
Isn't that 2?
I think that's the 1 p.m. game.
So Madison Oscar Smith is 2.
And Madison's the 2 p.m. Yes.
No, I thought I saw, and they said Madison and Smith are going to be one.
Hang on. So yeah. So sorry. What did I say? West Springfield. West Springfield's 1.
West Springfield's at one, and Madison's are you sure Madison's at 2?
I'm double checking right this second, but as of earlier today, I'm double checking the email I got directly from Madison, and that will square that one away. But
I think it won. Georgia, Alabama's at 4.
and they play at. Are they both at 1?
Yeah, I think they're both
confirmed. They're both at 1. Interesting.
Yeah.
And I only say the other one because the West Springfield people got back to me and said that they got an email from Coach Parker, and Coach Parker's email to the parents.
Back to
1 o'clock game.
West Springfield. The reason I like their chances more is that North Stafford knows that what a special player Dylan Wickham is, and they are going to stack up and try to shut him down. West Springfield is stout up front, and they're going to be able to handle that. Now, while North Stafford has some of the best athletes in the state, in their secondary, and in their backfield at the receiver position, not necessarily up front. So that means West Springfield, I like their chances up front in this matchup. I like their chances to honestly be able to establish the run game, and then if North Stafford's able to, stop Wickham, don't sleep on guys like Javon Austin, who's having an incredible year.
Well, I agree with you 100%, Carl. 100% of what you said. And out of these 2 games, we talk about the underdogs here in NoVA. I would be less surprised if West Springfield pulled the upset off. Obviously.
Yeah. I think so too. I think that's more of like if we're ranking them, right, the Oscar Smith Madison matchup would be the 1-4, and the West Springfield
that's probably fair.
The 2-3, right?
And to your point, breaking news, they do have Javon Austin. They can hit deep if they establish the run. Javon Austin, all region first team. Javon
well
Austin.
deserved.
Yes, Sam Heredia, second team. This is breaking news, by the way. And obviously, first team all region, Scotty Lewis at QB. The aforementioned Wickham, first team running back.
Mercer, the guard.
Mercer, first team, and Brennan Teffler, first team.
Oh, tackling machine Teffler. West Springfield, I really like their defense. They had a challenge on their hands. North Stafford's the fastest team in the state. They really are. Even now, if Sullivan is out, the junior, that is Kanah Sullivan, sorry, I just messed up his name. If he is out, that does change things, but you guys know all about Antoine Barnes, Alan Lester. I'm missing on some guys. Well,
let me ask you this, Carl, because you've seen them play. Mason and I, we watched every Friday. We watched every team, but probably not enough, right? And you actually watched several North Stafford games this year. What would you say look, we look at West Springfield. They're right now they're a running team.
Right.
4 times. Okay, 4. They're not even hiding it right now. Now they're gonna establish that run, and they'll Scotty Lewis and his legs, and then he's gonna beat you with his arms. You try and play up. What would you say describing North Stafford? Would you say they're kind of an even? What would you say as far as their percentage-wise run to pass?
I think they've become a pass-heavy team. It seems like they like to hit you on the outside. They have guys that can beat you over the top and over the middle, and they got a big-time tight end who's not who block his tail off and then catch a pass over the middle. Both teams have good tight ends. Anthony Bello is an excellent tight end for West Springfield as well. But no, I'd say the way Chase Sullivan is playing, they're going to be throwing first.
Okay, well, I think that plays into a couple things. One, watch out for the tight end over there because Hibner had a big day against West Springfield this past week. He had a huge day. So look for the tight end. And I'm sure they were watching that. But aside from that, they did a good job handling it, taking away the outside receivers for Ty Jackson. He didn't have much there. He was running for his life most of the game. And Mason, you've talked about it all season long and all off season, how impressed you were by the West Springfield 7-on-7.
Yeah, I thought the defensive backs were.
Why do you play 7-on-7? At the end of the day, for this.
Yeah.
For this. And play against a team who wants to sling it. This is why you play it.
And I think North Stafford has shown some vulnerability right? The loss to, but what's really weird was, if you think about it, the two losses that we saw, it was not the run game that hurt them, it was the pass game that hurt North Stafford, right? That's how Woodbridge got back in the game by throwing.
Yeah, I mean, Vinny Hill torched them for 4 touchdowns in that game.
They threw the ball, and remember Battlefield. Battlefield came out and started throwing the football. I believe that was the game where was that the game where O'Shea got hurt?
Yep, that's the game where O'Shea got hurt, right? Second half.
And Battlefield started throwing the football.
That leads me to Carl's point, where that probably was. You're talking about Woodbridge with a great running back. Talking about Battlefield, you mentioned Blackstock earlier. Yeah. That could be the kind of scenario where a team a little bit lighter up front starts stacking the box and leaving guys on islands out there and saying, okay, we're not letting you beat you anymore. You're not letting you pound the ball. And those teams took advantage of that.
Yeah.
Now, to your point again, Mason, this might be a game where Sky Lewis might need to take advantage of those situations when he has.
Yeah, I think he's going to have to. I think he's going to come after. He's got to make some plays with his arm, which we see him do all year.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, all region QB. The man beat out Ty Jackson.
Yeah.
So it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun. This one was nearby. Once again, though, now it doesn't matter as much with the times being the same because you'd be a brave soul for like a 1 hour difference to drive to North Stafford and then drive back to Madison or vice versa.
Yeah.
But still is a bummer. They didn't do like a 1 and a 4 or something like that, or a noon and a 3 or noon and a 4, something like that. And then some of the I know VA would have freaking put the miles on the old truck, the old family truckster.
You know how you solve that?
Friday night game, Saturday game?
No, you solve it by why am I drawing a blank on the word? A neutral field. Neutral
Hawaii,
field.
Dad?
Neutral field. A 1 o'clock game. A 5 o'clock game.
Yeah.
Right. Neutral field. 1 o'clock game. 5 o'clock game. Right.
Oh, for both. Yeah, back to back.
Back to back. Right.
Oh yeah, for sure. No doubt about it.
Neutral field.
Yes.
Yeah.
Come go to Woodson. They got the biggest stadium.
The biggest stadium.
Bleachers are the biggest. They hold the most.
Now, they had complained about having all the games here in Fairfax. So I mean,
right, and then you figure out something with the the concessions and all that kind of stuff, and make it happen. Robinson would be a good location, centrally located.
Yeah.
The thing is, up here you have bigger stadiums.
Mm.
Like I said, Woodson once upon a time held would hold like states.
Would you be able to hold it like at one of the smaller D3 colleges, like could CNU?
But then you're paying money.
Oh,
if you did it at one of these schools, see, they end up spending all this money. This will be a show for next week, but they end up spending all this money going to JMU. I heard someone said it costs upwards of $20,000, and they're paying that out of the budgets. And why not go
Who's
to it?
paying that?
I think we are. Are we paying?
VHSL?
Are the taxpayers
Yeah.
paying? Someone's paying that. That money probably comes from people like us, schmoes like us.
Well, I hope Madison makes some money this weekend because I bet Oscar Smith will travel well.
Yeah, and we'll be there, Mason.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll throw chili dogs to everyone.
Madison's concessions always rock. I bet they'll have the grill running.
Oh, they definitely will. But we'll talk about this next week, and I'm going to try and find out the answer to that question. Who pays for that, Carl? It comes out of some budget, though. Who cares whose it is, right? Someone's budget. And if you could save that money and do it, at one of the public schools, right? Neutral site.
Yeah.
Where's the biggest public school that has good bathrooms, big bathrooms, that has all that stuff, parking? And you make a list of those schools, see who does it. Now you're not paying anything. You throw them a few bucks from the concessions, call it a day.
Yeah.
That's my take on it. So something we'll talk about now. So I can't wait for this one as well. Psyched about Madison and Oscar Smith. Psyched about North Stafford and West Springfield. But let's talk about some other games, Carl. Let's talk about the Stonebridge game a little bit.
Stonebridge is loaded. I mean, they're loaded across the board. I just did post my 2028 rankings. They have 3 players in my top 10 for the class of 2028. Langston Pridgeon at corners, a second-ranked prospect in the state, has close to 20 offers already. Keith Nolan, my 4th-ranked prospect, has close to 15 offers. He's another defensive back. Caden Golston, coach's son, he and his older brother, it's a Tennessee commit and plays for them now too. I mean, they're loaded across the board. They're like another version of Oscar Smith, and they have the tradition too.
But Maury, though, I mean, you might want to say Maury might be that because Maury, all I've heard all year, Maury's the best. Maury might be the best team in the state.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's like Northern Virginia, if you want to consider Stonebridge, Northern Virginia.
Yeah, they're Nova.
Yeah, compared to Southern Virginia's best in terms of that class.
Right.
That's the matchup you got.
That's a great game. That's sort of their Madison versus Oscar Smith.
Is that the comparison? Is like Stonebridge considered like that big of a favorite? I'm asking.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know about them being that big of a favorite or more at all.
I mean underdog. I meant underdog against.
Oh, probably by those who are in that world. I'm not even ranking either one of these. I don't know enough about either one of these teams. I just know Madison and Stonebridge played neck and neck, though. I do know that.
Right. I mean,
it's a similar style team there. And then you got Maury's just loaded with dudes.
Maury, I mean, once again, is loaded. And I would say they're probably closer to like how North Stafford is probably maybe a 10-point favorite. I would say it's more like closer to that. If I would compare this matchup, I just don't see Stonebridge rolling over in this one at all.
I totally agree with you. Now, you are a big, you're normally a big Kettle Run guy, aren't you?
Kettle Run, they're loaded across the board. They're back to back. Is it 3 in a row or back to back region titles for them? Either way,
I know it's definitely back to back at least.
Yeah, Dyson Tapscott. He's one of my top ranked prospects. He does a little bit of everything for them. He threw for 3 touchdowns in their region win over Skyline last week, and he also had a pick 6. He's just an incredible athlete. But Kettle Run in face of adversity too, like they're still marching on. They're still the tradition's still there, even with everything that went down over there. They're ready to go, and they've faced this adversity with ease.
Yeah. So I know. So I'm just trying to name some of these Nova teams that are still playing, and then obviously Loudoun County, right?
Yeah. Who do they now? Their game Saturday as well.
I think does anyone play on Friday? I think all the games are on Saturday, aren't they?
I feel like they're all Saturday around 1 or 2.
I think they are all Saturday around. I think the ones we just said were 2:00 games.
Right.
I think Stonebridge was 2. Any guys on at Loudoun County you want to kind of highlight?
Yeah, Jeremiah Davis. Loudoun County. Jeremiah Davis. He came to our showcase last year too. He's their edge rusher. He has a couple of offers, including one from Ferrum University. He had 3 sacks in their and a touchdown last week in their game. They also have Jonathan Ford on defensively. Luke Morrison. He's a playmaker. He's their 5-star kicker / punter. He boots the crap out of the ball. Out the Loudoun County and Loudoun Valley, great years.
Yeah, they had great years. So Loudoun County. So you got Loudoun County a chance to represent in the states. Kettle Run a chance to represent in states. Stonebridge a chance to represent in states. So pretty good, right? I mean, and obviously I'd say Kettle Run. We talk about this Kettle Run and Loudoun County probably a little bit Nova plus ish, a little further.
So and I'm going back to the start times. I was looking at the game. So
yeah,
Loudoun County plays at home. Lafayette 2:00 on Saturday.
Okay.
This one says West Springfield and North Stafford at 2:00 as well.
That's what I thought it was all along until I read that message, but that could have been wrong.
Oscar Smith at Madison is scheduled for 1. West Springfield and North Stafford is at 2. Maury at Stonebridge 2:00. Again, I wouldn't sleep on the Bulldogs. I didn't realize they're considered that big of an underdog.
Yeah.
And Lafayette at Loudoun County, that's a Class 4 state semifinal. That's at 2:00. And Kettle Run that welcomes in the reigning champion Liberty Christian, who, back to what Coach Mason was saying earlier, they're across the board one of the most talented teams every year in the state.
Is Kettle Run hosting that game?
Yes, 2:00.
2:00. So some fun games in Virginia, all across Virginia there, and I know you'll be looking at your phone the Adam Schefter of NoVA, kind of throughout the day and marking down who's having big days and all that kind of stuff. We'll try and get the updates on that during the games.
Yeah, I'll finally be able to bring your guys' Prep Red Zone shirts that I've been holding since back in September.
No worries, but we got something for you too, buddy. You got something.
All right.
Which, by the way, we'll have something for, gave some stuff away last week, gave a couple of hats away, a couple of shirts away. We'll try and do that again with some of the Madison faithful. Didn't see a sign though, Mesa. We were looking for a all Hitches 316 sign, and nobody had it. So this is it. This is the call to Madison. Someone there's got to have an all Hitches 316 sign. And if you do that, you'll get some cool gear.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. Something. It's got to say something cool on it. Right?
Yeah.
Maybe all Hitchamania lives forever. Something like that.
All
Hitchamania. Well, the other thing that no one's talking about now, despite Van Acker thinking that it's a much longer drive than it really is, and I hope VA sees this, that the 1 o'clock start, though, is relatively early for Oscar Smith. I meant to ask you this. Do you think Oscar Smith, and Mason, you've done a few long drives in your time out in California and New Mexico. Do you think, are they crashing somewhere? That depends on the budget probably. B, if they aren't crashing somewhere up here, are they freaking, what time are they leaving?
So what, you figure they want to get here by 11 if it takes 3.5 hours?
Let's say 4. It's a bus,
7:30?
slow-moving bus. Say 4.
7:30?
Everyone's body's ready to play football at 7:30 a.m., isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, depending, it costs, but I think you would try to stay here. Like you would travel up here.
I mean, it'd be easier if they took a half day, went up Friday, and stayed at
well, even if you didn't, even if you left at the end of school, I mean,
Dash can host them, as an Airbnb. It'd be easier than they could, get their film in and.
You got to watch out for that. That kind of stuff happens. Look, I've seen documentaries with Bill Parcells and those guys. You got to look out for. We played a game years ago. I don't know if you were up here yet, but the team got sick in the pregame. They had food poisoning. They had
Lewis,
Coach Pilson's Lewis team getting ready to play Woodson. Actually, it was during the 18th season, during the Woodson region title run.
Yeah.
Region title game run, and they all got sick. They had to cancel the game. So that stuff does happen, though, in all seriousness. So maybe you're better off just playing it safe, driving the morning. I just if you're into superstitions and all that stuff. But at this point, everything's out the window anyway. You're on the road at freaking 7 a.m.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to do it.
I mean,
What is that, like a 3-hour drive?
Well, that's the controversy. So I don't know if you noticed this, Mason. It's on that Facebook page that Prince William, when people were debating the ride. Van Acker called me and said, "I don't know what you're talking about our last show." And he said it's a 6-hour drive. And I said, 6-hour drive? It is not a 6-hour drive. What are you riding a Schwinn?
Yeah, you can make it to New York in under 4, right?
What are you doing, VA? 6 hours?
Hold on. I'm going to Google Maps it right now.
I did. Watch. I bet you it's 3:20. Tell me what it says. How long?
2 hours and 57
3
minutes.
hours. I did it on Thanksgiving Sunday. That's a heavy traffic day.
VA really said 6 hours?
It said 6 hours. I hope you're watching this, Van Acker. Never get in a car when Van Acker's taking a road trip.
What kind of phone does he
the
have?
world's biggest ball of twine somewhere on the halfway there. He makes every stop at every antique shop and on the road. Stops at every place selling fresh fruit, every flea market. What the hell are you doing, VA?
That's pretty funny.
6 hours for a 3-hour drive. I know buses are a little bit slower. They're not that much slower.
I got nothing.
6 hours. He really told you guys 6 hours.
VA's ears are burning right now. But they should be. 6 hours. So Oscar Smith is leaving at midnight, guys. They're leaving at midnight. I just can't. All right, I've lost it. I just can't. And Mason knows I've been talking about this for 2 days.
Yes.
I can't get. How can you be that wrong? In 2025, you just type in the address on one of these things and it tells you. Carl just did it in 5 seconds. Never have VA in charge. Great coach. Never have him in charge of the road trip to the school.
He should be back on staff next year. He's losing his mind. 6 hours, man.
Oh, boy. All right, guys. Look, it's going to be a blast. Can't wait. Get ready. Bundle up, campers. It's cold out there. It's going to be cold out there.
Bring
Wear
the
your
signs.
gloves.
I want to see that
Wear
old
the whole
Hitches
thing.
316 sign. Somebody better bring it.
Mesa was freezing the other day, and it was nice. It was sunny.
It's cold.
Yeah, he's West Coast, you know.
I know. Wine and cheese.
Wants to be surfing instead of
West Coasters. All righty, guys. It's been fun. Carl, thanks for joining us. It was a blast, as always. We'll do it again on a live show. Mace's got the idea cooking. We're going to break it down. From Carl, Prep Red Zone, Dash and Dan, all hitches. We'll see you guys next time.
Yeah.